everybody, my name is Cameron Rosenthal and I'm the founder of SoulFull Wellness, my holistic health coaching practice. Today I am going to share with you a recipe that is so easy and so delicious. I couldn't wait to share with you. It's perfect for fall, and I learned it from my colleague Andrea Beeman, who is also a graduate of the Institute for Integrative Nutrition and a holistic chef. So, how many of you have ever walked past this in the grocery store and thought, I have no idea what to do with this? Well, today I'm going to show you how easy it is to turn this butternut squash into a creamy and delicious soup using only a few very simple ingredients. Today I'm using my squash, obviously, an onion, some ginger, olive oil, and a little bit of salt and some fresh water. And that is it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to peel and chop my onion. And the way that I like to do this is make sure, first of all, that you have a very good knife. So I like to chop off the ends. Here, again, I'm saving these for my vegetable stock. And then you just cut a little slit down the side here. So I've tried many different ways to peel onions, and they're always kind of tricky, so I found this to be the easiest way. Just peel down the side and then you can peel off the skin this way. And once I peel my onion, I'm just going to discard all this skin here. And then I'm going to slice it right down the middle and cutting it lengthwise. So cutting the onion this way is the easiest way I've found to chop it with as little amount of work as possible. So I am cutting it lengthwise and then just cutting it across, and it makes a nice natural box. Alright, so now I have my onions chopped. I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon, into my stock pot here. And I'm going to turn the heat on to about medium heat and let that heat up for just a second. Woo, my eyes are watering. And then I'm going to just add in my onion. Next thing I'm going to do is cut my ginger. So I have some fresh ginger here, and I'm going to cut off just about 2 or 3 inches. So I'll cut off a nice chunk of my ginger about this big. It depends, how strong you want to flavor your soup as well. So if you love ginger, you're welcome to use more. So I'm going to do about 2.5 inches here. And I'm just going to begin by peeling off some of the skin. So now I'm going to just begin to cut this into nice slices. Until it's nice and minced. Alright, so while my onions are browning in the stock pot, I'm going to show you how you can turn this into your butternut squash soup. So we're going to start by cutting it up into chunks. So first of all, again, make sure that you have a nice firm grip on your knife. Really important here. And then we're just going to start by putting a little muscle into it and cutting off the ends here. So this is quite large squash, so you gotta put some weight into it. And again, perfect for the soup, so setting that aside, not to waste. And now we're going to just cut it right down the middle. There we go. And turn it on its side, or turn it on its head so that it's nice and flat, so you have a surface here. Cut this in half. Cut this one in half. So you'll find that one end has the seeds in them, and you just want to scrape those out with a spoon. So now that I have prepped my squash, I'm just going to begin to take the peel off. So although you can eat the peel from butternut squash, we're not going to use it in this recipe. So just take your knife along the edge here and begin to cut off the peel. Now that I have peeled the skin off of my butternut squash, I'm just going to cut it into large chunks, so we don't have to worry about being too precise here. We just want to cut it down a bit so that it can cook faster. So we're going to puree it in just a minute. So making my large chunks here. Next, I'm going to take my butternut squash and I'm going to just add it to my sauteed onions in the stock pot. So along with the squash, I'm going to add my my chopped ginger. That's going in. 5 cups of water. And some salt. You can salt to taste. I use about a tablespoon. All right, I'm going to turn up the heat to high heat and bring it up to a boil. And as soon as it starts to boil, I'm going to reduce the heat, cover it, and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Now that my butternut squash has been cooking on the stove for about 10 minutes, it's time to turn off the heat and transfer it to my food processor here to begin to puree it. So I'm going to just take off the lid. Oh, it smells so good. And I'm going to transfer it over to my countertop. I'm just going to take a slotted spoon here and begin to transfer the butternut squash and the onions over to my food processor. We're going to leave all of the liquid in the pot. So once I've transferred the butternut squash into the food processor, I'm just going to give it a quick pulse and then begin to puree. While it's pureeing, I'm going to add some of the stock to the food processor. Once I've pureed the butternut squash until it's a nice creamy consistency, I am ready to serve. So you can see here, it's a gorgeous orange color. This is so healthy for you. Butternut squash is filled with vitamins and minerals like vitamin A, vitamin C. It has some iron, potassium, manganese. It's great for detoxification. It is full of antioxidants, and it's really a wonderful sweet root vegetable that you can incorporate into your diet during the fall. So it even helps to get rid of some of those sugar cravings, believe it or not. So with that said, I'm going to begin to serve up some soup. So you can see it's nice and creamy texture here. Wonderful. So I'm just going to try a little bite here. It's sweet and savory and creamy and rich all at the same time. And I know that I'm not eating something filled with calories. There's only about 63 calories per cup of butternut squash. And we've only used a little bit of olive oil, so very low in fat, low in salt, and all natural ingredients. So I hope you enjoy this recipe at home. Give it a try. Let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear from you on my blog, www.soulfulwellness.com. And I'm also hosting a 5-day detox coming up November 1st through 5th. So if you like this recipe, I encourage you to check out my detox. It's on the events page of my website. We'll be eating lots of clean, healthy, delicious foods like this butternut squash soup. And we'll also be incorporating some stress reduction techniques, some yoga, and we're going to have a great time. So, see you guys soon. Have a wonderful day and happy